Hello, and welcome back to TimeSplitters in Detail, part 2 of unused arcade levels. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Notre Dame, which, like Siberia in the previous episode, is unselectable. Unlike Siberia, Notre Dame does not feature in any arcade-based levels. Besides Story Mode and Challenge Mode, we don't see this level in use. Even when played in the Glass Smash Challenge Stain Removal, the game is set to play as though it's running Story Mode. Before I dive into a full-blown match against the AI, it's probably best we take a look at this level on our own to get an idea of how it's set up. You'll see why. As you can see, we've spawned in at the start of a level, close to the spot you start in Story Mode. Unfortunately, this is the only spawn spot set for this map, at least when you're playing any deathmatch style game, so Shrink, Elimination, Monkey Assistant, they'll all spawn players in this location. I initially thought that the map was left blank and contained no pickups. I was surprised to find all the available weapons sitting here in this room. It's obvious they've simply been put here for testing purposes, but what's strange is whilst you can pick them up, none of them contain any ammo, meaning you can't even select them. You'll notice as I start an arcade match with bots, they'll all run to grab these weapons. So, you'll notice the enemies all running off through the level to grab their empty weapons. When they finally get them and realise they have no ammo, everything turns into a bit of a boxing match. It means the only real way to play a deathmatch on this level is to select always start with gun. Let's try deathmatch again, but this time we'll set it so everyone starts with a weapon. When doing this, you're sort of able to get a game out of it, but it's very restricted to the first area of the level due to that single spawn point. The bots will still try to pick up the other weapons located not too far away, but otherwise the game is very contained to this location. Any game mode which operates similar to deathmatch will play very similar to this, with most of the action taking place at the start of a level or being a long punch up if you don't start with a weapon. We'll take a quick look at other game modes that run using deathmatch conditions, then move on to different modes such as Capture the Flag, Virus, and so on. Team Deathmatch works fine, with no issues as far as I could tell. As it's so similar to deathmatch with how it works, this was to be expected. Elimination also works with no problems. I ventured a little further on into the level this time to see if the AI would follow me, which they did. The AI don't have any issues navigating the level it seems, besides occasionally getting stuck on some of the stairs, but seeing as there are no items and pickups located further on into the level, the enemy bots will never go there. Shrink, as you'd expect, works fine here too. There's really not too much to say about Vampire, Thief, Regeneration and Leech, except that they work fine in the limited level environment. We'll quickly go through these before moving on to the last deathmatch style game mode, Monkey Assistant. Monkey Assistant is where things get much more interesting. At the end of the day, this mode plays identical to Deathmatch, with the difference being armed monkeys spawn in to help the player in last place. What makes this mode much more useful is the monkeys are spawned in with random weapons, allowing you to finally use the other weapons available to you. Capture the Bag is completely broken, though it's not too surprising considering the state of the level. The bags haven't been added, so bots will run around aimlessly hunting, whilst occasionally engaging the enemy team. The main notable difference is all players are spawned in completely random locations, and the bots will traverse the entire level while searching for the bag. Bag tag also doesn't work. Unlike Siberia's bag tag, where enemies wandered the level looking for a bag which wasn't there, the enemy bots will remain stationary here. Enemies will react if you shoot them and fight back, however. Flame tag is nearly playable, I'd say. The real letdown is that there are no pickups to make the match interesting, but the mode itself works fine, and the map seems quite fun to play on. Virus plays virtually identical to Flame Tag, but because of this comes off as a good solid mode to play on. Once again, a mode such as Virus plays to Notre Dame's strengths, with lots of varied tight corridors and open spaces, making it quite a tense level. Sadly, Zones causes the game to crash once it's finished loading. This is likely due to the level just not being coded for this mode. I'd somehow forgotten about Gladiator, but it plays just like the other deathmatch based game modes and works fine, with players once again all spawning at the start of the level. Assault is the last mode, and just like with Siberia, it doesn't work. As soon as the game loads, it enters a win condition. Even when I tried to force the game back to normal play, the bots remained in place and the pause menu sound played constantly. It's not exactly a surprise that this mode doesn't work though. So, with all the game modes out of the way, I'd like to share my final thoughts on the map. It's very clear that this level is completely unfinished. Whether or not it was ever intended to have a place in the arcade mode or arcade league remains unclear, though the 5 weapon pickups having a spot on the map seems to indicate that perhaps some testing was done. As a map to play, well, it's obviously quite awful for any game modes which rely on the deathmatch logic. One spawn point and no usable pickups make it very difficult to have a good time here, though Monkey Assistant was by far the most enjoyable deathmatch type experience. I found Virus to be the most satisfying mode to play here. This mode is more about evading the infected enemies, and this level is pretty fun for this mode. It would help if some of the dead ends could loop around in some cases, just to give players a bit more freedom. At the end of the day though, I'm judging this map on its current playability in the game, and I'd definitely put Flame Tag and Virus up there, followed by Monkey Assistant. I'll definitely be revisiting Notre Dame again at some point, but for now, this marks the end of the episode. Next time I'll be taking a look at the arcade version of Wild West. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.